before you discover what to do with your life, where to go in life, and how to serve others, there's this important question that you need to ask yourself: who am I? Why am I here? What's my purpose? Because until you know who you are, you won't be able to pattern your life according to your purpose and your real identity. Most people are struggling not because they lack talent. Most people are struggling not because they lack skills. Most people are struggling not because they lack opportunities, but they struggle because they are trying to build a successful life on a broken identity. Your identity and your success work hand in hand. They are partners. One can't go without the other. Your success, your identity determines your success, and your success is in collaboration with your identity. So when you have a broken identity, you won't be able to have a successful life. So that means your successful life is when you discover your real identity. When you know who you are, that's when you'll be able to build a successful life. And the scary part of the whole thing is that most people don't even realize it. They continue struggling in life, they continue doing it, they continue trying to get it done, but on what? On a false identity, on a broken identity. So that's why today we need to understand what exactly is my identity? How do I know my identity? But before we go into that, there are 4 identity killers that are killing every person's identity. They are killers. Mostly everybody have 1 or 2 of this they are battling with. We don't even know that they are identity killers. Because one thing about life is that until you know the truth, you won't be set free. So that's why they say, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Because the only way to be free is when you know what you need to be free from. Exactly. So what are the 4 identity killers? That's what we'll be talking about. So we have 4 of them. They are very dangerous. The last one, the first one, is the most dangerous of them all. And I'm sure you are ready for it. So the first one is confusion. I wrote something down here. Confusion is more than not knowing what to do. It is an unstable inner condition where your direction becomes unclear, your identity becomes uncertain, truth becomes distorted, decision becomes double-minded. Yes, that's what confusion causes. You won't know the right direction to follow. You won't know who you are exactly. And the truth that should set you free, it won't be so balanced. It will be so distorted. It will be so deformed. You won't know if it is the truth or not the truth. You will be so confused. And the last thing is that when you start making decisions, even if it is right, you still doubt it. Even if it is wrong and you know it's wrong, you doubt it whether maybe it's right. Why? Because you are confused. And how does a confused person look like? They start thinking, what am I doing with my life? Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I've been forgotten. Maybe I should be someone else. The reason why you are thinking this way is very simple. It's because you lack clarity and the rootedness in the truth. I said something earlier that the truth is what will set you free. When you are not rooted in the truth, when you don't even know the truth, or the truth that you know is so distorted, you will be confused. That's why you check around. We have a lot of confused people. They don't even know who they are. They are all everywhere. They are on social media. They are your friends. So when you surround yourself with this kind of people, so when you hear from this other party, everything confused you. That's why you need the real truth about yourself. You need the real truth about who you are. So when you are rooted in this truth, when you know who you are, when you have the clarity of where you are going, nothing will confuse you, or nothing will confuse you. You'll be so convinced that I know where I'm going and I know where my destination is taking me. Because getting to the right destination is attached to your identity. A lot of people remain stagnant in a position because they lack what? Identity. Because they lack clarity. Because they have a distorted what? Truth. You must be rooted in the truth. Read books that talks about where you are going, who you are, where you want to become. You must be well equipped. You must be full of knowledge. Let me tell you something. One thing about knowledge is that knowledge is taken from two words: know and edge. That is, what you know will give you an edge over the other person. That's it. That's where knowledge comes about. Knowledge gives you what? Edge based on what you know. And what you know is, when you know the truth will eventually set you free. Because what you know eventually matters. You must know the truth, because there are false. If you know the false and you build your life on false identity, you are still on the same path with someone that built his life on a broken identity. But when you know the exact truth, to what? Divine your life according to how it ought to be. You'll be able to partition your life on how your life ought to be. Confusion is one of the greatest enemies of identity, and you must be aware of it, because that's how you can break free from them. When you are aware of something, it loses their power. The second thing that we'll be talking about today is rejection.
You are given a breakfast,
or they rejected your proposal. Maybe your family rejected you. Maybe your husband, maybe your boss, maybe your sisters, maybe your siblings, maybe your friends betrayed you. One way or the other, you've been rejected one way or the other. But the rejection that happens won't matter if it doesn't become your own personal identity. When you are not identify yourself based on what other people who don't know your value think about you. Most people, let's say everybody in the whole world has been rejected one way or the other. I don't know how your rejection might do. Like maybe your husband thought you are less of a human, that you are not worth him. That's why he rejected you.
and you thought, maybe that's who you are. No.
When you start living your life based on rejection and not seeing rejection as an experience that you go through in life, everybody that you've seen so far, all those great people have been rejected one way or the other. Maybe they are trying to preach their ideas to people and people reject it. There's a saying that goes that the more no you get brings you closer to the 1 year that you need to recover all the no's that you've been getting. That 1 year that you're looking for, that one good man that you're looking for, that one good family that you're looking for, that one good contract that you're looking for, that one good job that you're looking for is already on its way, but you need some no's to get to that yes. Because the more no's you get, the more you refine your skills on getting to that yes. I wrote something down here. Rejection becomes dangerous when it stops being an experience and it starts becoming an identity. When people don't just experience rejection, they become rejected in their own minds. Because what other people have thought about you, you think that's how your life should be. No, that's not how your life should be. The problem is not what happened to you. The problem is when you allow what happened to you become who you exactly are. And that's what we're attacking today. You must be aware of these things. These things are affecting a lot of people these days. And they don't even know. They don't even realize it. They think it's normal. I've talked to a lot of people. And they thought because of what happened in their past is what is defining their present and what will define their future. I'm telling you today, no. When you are rejected, it is an experience. But when you allow that experience to become your identity, so then it becomes an identity killer. It is normal to be rejected. A lot of people are rejected. Even when you become successful, a lot of people will still reject you. That's why you see a lot of big men, the millionaires, the billionaires, they are still being trolled on social media. They are still being trolled by their families. They are still being trolled by people around them. Right? Because rejection doesn't stop. You continue experiencing rejection until you normalize rejection as a normal part of life, as an experience that it's normal to experience it. And that doesn't define who you are exactly. Then you become a better person and become a better version of yourself. So the third thing that we'll be talking about is, and that most people don't even take notes, and it's very common among you, is comparison. We compare a lot. We compare our worth with someone else's worth. We think that the direction of your life should be accordingly. we don't know that every individual has an identity. Let me tell you something. For you to know every individual has an identity, if you see a capital letter A, a capital letter B, a capital letter C, to Z, you notice that individual letters have their own identity, and individual numbers have their own identity. Even though you can combine a letter, two numbers to form a new identity, still they have their identity. Each letters have their identity. So each individual existing on earth have their identity. So you don't have to compare yourself with the other. I wrote something like here. Comparison happens when you constantly measure your worth, value, and your progress against someone else's life. Instead of you asking, who was I created to become? You started asking, why am I not like them? Why am I not like this man? Why am I not like this woman? Why are they ahead of me? Why is their life better than mine? Maybe I'm not gifted. Maybe I'm behind. Maybe I'm this. Maybe it's constant in their world. If you notice when people started comparing themselves, you notice this language. Maybe they're better than me. Maybe they have more grace than me. Maybe they have more favor than me. Maybe because of their environment. Maybe because of where they are brought up. Maybe because of the family they were brought up. Maybe because of the education background they were given. Maybe because maybe, and this maybe is affecting their life. It is retarding their success. It is causing them to have a broken identity. And they're trying to build a successful argument. Even if they are successful, even if they are on the path to be success or to be a success, they wouldn't see it because of what they are comparing themselves to be. Your life is your life. Your identity is your identity. Your mission on earth varies. Your mission on earth is solely to you only. Your mission on earth can never be compared with someone else's mission on earth. You have a reason why you are existing on earth. You have a reason why you are created here in our world. Until you can discover this, until you know this, you stop comparing yourself. Start living life according to how you should live your life. And I'm sure you are aware of this now. You stop comparing. And you start taking actions. You start doing it. You start moving forward without looking at, it's good to look at other people for motivation on how to become better in your life, but it doesn't let that become your identity on how you should be. You are not them. They are their own. A is A, B is B, C is C, D is D, E is E, F is F. A can never act B. B can never act C. C can never act A. A can never act F. F can never act Z. Everybody has their own identity to act. I do say it, we are just like an actor. We have a manufacturer that created us. We are a product of this universe. We have a reason for our existence here. And we have a reason why we are existing here. So it's very important, it's very paramount that you know this. So you stop comparing yourself. The reason why Elijah is on earth is different from why Moses is on earth. It's different from why Isaiah is on earth. It's different from why Jeremiah is on earth. It's different from why Dorcas is on earth. It's different from why Esther is on earth. It's different from why Daniel is on earth. It's different from why Jesus is on earth. It's different from why Peter is on earth. It's different from why Paul is on earth. These people have their various identities, same as you. You and your brother, your twin brother or your twin sister, have various identity. So that's what you need to understand. Comparing your identity with someone else lowers or break your identity and retard yours being successful. And to live a successful life, you must understand this because they are killing your identity. That's why I call them the identity killers. So the first one we'll be talking about, which is the most dangerous one, is fear. I'm sure you've heard of it a lot of time. I wrote something down here. Fear is perhaps the most destructive. I've said it because fear doesn't just affect what you do, it affects how you think. It controls decisions, purpose, obedience, and actions. Let me tell you something about fear. Fear even is the reason why it's crazy is that it imprisons you before you even discover that your identity yourself. You start thinking, what if I fail? What if it doesn't work out? What if people reject me? What if people think I'm not enough? What if people do this? What if people do that? You never even start to discover your identity. It will imprison you. That's why it is the most destructive part. That's why you need to understand this. That's why you need to be aware of these things. That everything that you are thinking right now that is stopping you from starting wherever it is that you want to start is one of the destructive killers of identity. That's why you need to understand who you are. That's the first question I ask you. Before you know what to do with life, before you start serving others, before you start doing whatever it is that you want to do, you need to understand who you are. Ask this question: who am I? Why am I here? When you have this clarity, when you know this truth about yourself, you will be able to overcome fear and do whatever it is without nothing stopping you from doing it. I'm sure everybody fears one thing or the other, but that thing that you fear is the reason why you have a broken identity. And the only way to overcome that is when you are aware of it, that this is affecting you from being successful. So when you are aware of it, you start avoiding it. So whatever it is that you want to start, you start it. And no problem. We'll fail during the way, no problem. We get a day. We'll start again. If people think you are not enough, no problem. They will start bringing more enough things to make us more enough. Whatever it is, we'll continue, we'll do it. That's what leaders do. Leaders, let me tell you something. There are two types of people on earth. We have leaders, we have managers. Yes. This is how leaders think. Leaders think, are we doing the right thing? That is, they started this stuff already. So they were thinking, are we doing the right thing? But managers, they think, is what we are about to do the right thing. They start analyzing, they start checking if it is the right thing, whereas the leader is already doing it, checking it on the way. Are we doing the right thing? Are we doing the right thing? If it's not the right thing, we stop it. If it's the right thing, we continue. But that won't stop us from doing what we will. So that's how fear comes in. Fear doesn't come like you start getting scared. No, fear comes when you start overanalyzing things. Continue, start whatever it is that you want to start. Is it that skill that you want to start? Start it. Is that career that you want to start? Start it. That's who you are. That's who you've become. That's how you discover your identity. That's how you live life. There's something I wrote here too. I said, before anything bad actually happens, fear already imprisoned your mind. Many people have the ability, opportunity, purpose, potential, but fear keeps them standing still. A lot of people should have been a success or should have been successful in life, but they remain at that stagnant stage because of what they shouldn't fear. And it is making them because that was as making them stand still. They shouldn't fear it. That's not what you are not meant to fear that thing, but it's making you stand still. That's why fear is the most craziest part, it's the most destructive part. It destroys the life of billionaires. Let me say potential billionaires. Destroy the life of great leaders. Let me say potential great leaders. You have the potential to be a billionaire. You have the potential to be a great leader, but fear I pray you overcome that fear. Start whatever it is. The only way to overcome it is to start it. You just start it. Whenever you think of something that I should do this, but I can't do it because of this. Then do it because you imagine it of not doing it. That's how you overcome fear. Whatever you think that you can't do, do it. That's how you overcome fear. And let me tell you something. All these four things that I've mentioned: confusion, rejection, comparison, and fear, they work hand in hand. If you don't know.